Hello everyone, welcome to this lecture. First, let's think about these questions. What is media literacy and why is it relevant in today's world? What is the role of the individual in interpreting media messages? The media is everywhere you turn. What does the word mean? Well, it is the plural of medium, which comes from the Latin word medius, meaning middle. A medium is a channel or system of communication, information, or entertainment. It's the vehicle for a message. The media, then, is a collective term we use to talk about the widely distributed newspapers, TV channels, websites, radio stations, movie studios, and more that create or distribute information. From the moment you get up in the morning to the time you go to bed at night, the mass media are there to keep you informed, make sure you are entertained, and most importantly, sell you products. According to industry estimates, today's adults spend more than half of their waking time in receiving all kinds of media messages, more than the time they spend in sleeping. Some mass media touch you every day, economically, socially, and culturally. The mass media may affect the way you see the world and the way you spend your money. Sometimes the mass media influence the way you eat, talk, work, study, and relax. The media can also cause confusion and disillusionment. For example, when writing an article, the writer may leave out some facts, whether they're important or not. When that happens, the reader will only get one side of the story. What your grandparents might tell you about what it means to be beautiful is going to be completely different from what your favorite fashion magazine is going to tell you. What your teacher might tell you about the United States may also be quite different from what you see in a Hollywood movie. It's exactly because we cannot live without the media today that the ability to navigate the media has become a powerful and crucial skill. Scholars refer to this skill as media literacy. According to the US-based National Association for Media Literacy Education, media literacy is the ability to access, analyze, evaluate, create, and act using all forms of communication. Media literacy is a skill we often take for granted. After all, it seems that we don't need anyone to teach us how to watch TV or see a film. But if we consider how important the mass media are in creating and maintaining the culture that helps define ourselves and our lives, it is a skill that must be improved. Like all skills, it can be improved. Art Silverblatt and other scholars have identified 7 fundamental elements of media literacy, and they are: 1. A critical thinking skill enabling audience members to make independent choices with regard to 1. Which media programming to select, and 2. How to interpret the information through the channels of mass communication. Thinking critically about the content we consume is the very essence of media literacy. Why do we watch what we watch, read what we read, listen to what we listen to? If we don't figure out these questions first, we have taken no responsibility for ourselves or our choices. As such, we have taken no responsibility for the outcome of those choices. 2. An understanding of the process of mass communication. If we know the components of the mass communication process and how they relate to one another, we can form expectations of how they can serve us. How do the various media industries operate? What are their obligations to us? What are our own obligations? How do different media limit or enhance messages? What kinds of feedback are the most effective and why? 3. An awareness of the impact of media on the individual and society. Writing and the printing press help change the world and the people in it. The mass media do the same. If we ignore the impact of media on our lives, we run the risk of being caught up and carried along by that change rather than controlling or leading it. 4. Strategies for analyzing and discussing media messages. To consume media messages thoughtfully, we need a foundation on which to base thoughts and reflections. If we make meaning, we must have the tools with which to make it. For example, understanding the intent and impact of film and video conventions, such as camera angles and lighting, or the strategy behind the placement of photos on a newspaper page. Otherwise, meaning is made for us. The interpretation of media content will then rest with its creator, not with us. 5. An understanding of media content as a text that provides an insight into our culture and our lives. How do we know a culture and its people, attitudes, values, concerns, and myths? We know them through communication. Media presentations often shape our understanding of and insight into a culture. 6. The ability to enjoy, understand, and appreciate media content. Media literacy does not mean bashing the media or always being suspicious of its harmful effects and cultural degradation. As we take literature classes to enhance our understanding and appreciation of novels, we can do the same for media texts. Learning to enjoy, understand, and appreciate media content enables us to approach media content from a variety of directions, and we can get many levels of meaning. Thus, we control meaning making for our own enjoyment or appreciation. 7. Development of effective and responsible production skills. Traditional literacy assumes that people who can read can also write. Media literacy also makes this assumption. Our definition of literacy, of either type, calls not only for effective and efficient comprehension of content, but for the effective and efficient use of it. Therefore, media literate individuals should develop production skills that enable them to create useful media messages. If you have ever tried to design a poster for a student activity, or shoot and edit a narrative video, when it tells a story, with your smartphone, you would know that producing content is much more difficult than consuming it. Mass communication messages are created by individuals, and each individual has his or her own set of values, assumptions, and priorities. Accepting media messages at face value could lead to confusion because of all the conflicting information available out there. In a nutshell, media literacy enables media consumers to understand and use the language of the media. Before you consume a piece of information from the media, always remember to ask yourselves these questions. 1. Who created the message? 2. What are the author's credentials? 3. Why was the message created? 4. Is the message trying to get me to act or think in a certain way? 5. Is someone making money for creating this message? 6. Who is the intended audience? 7. How do I know this information is accurate? If, by the end of the course, these questions automatically pop up in your mind before you read or hear anything in the media, then perhaps you may say you are media literate. You still can enjoy media messages for sure, but you will not be easily manipulated by them. Are you ready then? Take the challenge and embark on the exciting journey with me.